The show that gets you ready for the week of football has returned to your social media near you. The show is available on Facebook and on YouTube. Show starts on a somber note following the news of the passing regarding the passing of Yolanda Nyembezi, affectionately known as Yolanda was a singer and a songwriter. Was born in the Bizana in the Eastern Cape. Now Yolanda signed her first record deal with 1020 Cartel, releasing her first EP. Utando Lwam in 2020 passed away. Now, sadly, news broke in that she passed on the 13th, which was on Thursday, following a brief illness at the Charlotte McLeod Hospital. May her soul rest in peace. Now now let's take you through her profile. She was born in Seaview and Bizana in the Eastern Cape, attending Nangeke Senior Secondary School, where she matriculated before pursuing her further studies in Tshwane University of Technology, where she covered Buya by Black Coffee in February 2018. After graduating, she joined Gauteng Opera before meeting Java, who signed her to 2010-20 Cartel. She has co-written on the compilation Isambulu, which was released in August 2020. Her first project, Utando Lwam, was released in November 2020. At the 15th South African Traditional Music Award, her song Impilo Yam was nominated for Best Xhosa Artist or Group. She established her show Truth with which her show in August 2021. She established her show Truth, which premiered on Locaflix in May 2021 August 2021. In May 2022, she signed a record deal with Fifth Season and released her single Mapupini Am on 6 May. And June 2023, Yolanda established her own record label, Masana Music. The same month, she announced her debut album, which was released on the 4th of August in 2023. Its lead single, 11 verse 11 Magukanye 11 Magukanye, was released on 9 June 2023. She released Mali, which featured Mpo Wave and Kwanzaa on Kenza on 26 October 2023. Yolanda died at the Charlotte McLeod Hospital Academic Hospital on 13 March 2025, beg your pardon, at the age of 30 years old. Condolences go to her friends, family, loved ones, and the musical fraternity at large. Condolences come from All Things Football Unpacked, just to mention a few. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Your contribution to our local music will not be forgotten. Good afternoon, welcome to it. This is All Things Football Unpacked. The road to Munich has reached fever pitch, while while we talk about the controversies surrounding the game surrounding the Stellies game against Kaiser Chiefs in the Nedbank Cup quarterfinal. We also talk about the teams that we finally find out we get to find out who made the top 8, the last 8 in the road to Munich. Well, Bayern Munich will be out to make their second home final in the Champions League, the first league format, and the much anticipated Mamelodi Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns. We've got the stats, just to mention a few. Let's start with the results for a change, something we seldom do, something we've never done in the tournament. Nedbank Cup quarterfinal results. Last week we saw Orlando Pirates and Supersport United and Orlando Pirates ending 2-2, with Pirates emerging victorious by penalties. While Stellenbosch fell short to Kaiser Chiefs by 3-1 in that controversial encounter. which we're going to talk about later on in the news. In the news, after a referee shared his opinion on the events that led to the goal and why the goal shouldn't have stood. The Mamelodi Sundowns and Sakuna United, one of the quarterfinals, which was postponed due to the venue being double booked. We're going to talk about that also with regards to the stadium clubs and the struggles to find stadiums. Durban City and Marumo Gallants played to a goalless draw. Marumo Gallants winning by 4 goals to 1. Last four was confirmed with Marumo Gallants facing Orlando Pirates, welcoming Marumo Gallants, and whoever is to play Sukuna United, Mamelodi Sundowns or Sukuna United, the winner of that game will face Kaizer Chiefs in the semi-final of the other game. Matches are to be played on the week of the 8th and the 9th week of the 8th of April. English Premier League results. So Nottingham Forest beating Man City, knocking them out of contention with regards to the Premier League title. They're dashing their league title hopes, beating them by that odd goal by Chris Wood. Liverpool coming from a goal down to beat Southampton by 3 goals to 1. Crystal Palace beat Ipswich Town, who are already relegation threatened, by an odd goal. While Brighton beat Fulham by 2 goals to 1. Villa were too strong. The Villains proved too strong for the Bees, beating them by an odd goal, while the Wolves and the Cherries could not be separated, playing to a 2-2 draw. Chelsea falling too strong for struggling Leicester City, beating them by an odd goal, while one of the fiercest rivalries could not be separated, with Manchester City and Arsenal playing to a 1-1 draw. Onto our Monday night football, we saw West Ham United fall short to Newcastle by that odd goal by Bruno Guimaraes. Tuesday fixtures, we Premiership returned this week. As we go into the international break, this is our last show before we go to tap into the international break. And after this, we will return on the 29th of March to further continue with our show. Betway Premiership fixtures from Tuesday, March 11th. Stellies and Pirates could not be separated. Stellies gave Pirates their first draw of the season, which was a goalless draw. Sundowns, as Peter Shalulile got his entered the centenary mark at Mamelodi Sundowns, trailing just Mamelodi Sundowns for Maxman and Daniel Mudau, alongside the Salas, who also found the back of the net, beating Amazulu by 2 goals to 0. Amazulu Magesi beating Richards Bay by an odd goal, while TS Galaxy beat Supersport United by 3 goals to 1. UEFA Champions League round of 16 saw Barcelona beat Benfica by 3 goals to 1 when getting a 4-1 aggregate score. Inter Milan fell too strong for Feyenoord, beating them by 2 goals to 1 with a 4-1 aggregate, while Bayern Munich beat Bayer Leverkusen by 2 goals to 0, giving them a 5-0 aggregate. Liverpool were beaten 4-1 on penalties following a goalless draw after Paris Saint-Germain won by an odd goal. With Liverpool having won the first leg by an odd goal, Paris Saint-Germain won by 4-1 and a penalty shootout. Wednesday saw Kaizer Chiefs also getting their first goalless draw of the season against the side they've had a hard time beating in Cape Town City. Golden Arrows falling short to Golden Arrows. Polokwane City, I beg your pardon, falling short to Golden Arrows by an odd goal, while Marumo Gallants came from a goal. Skuna United came from a goal down to win by 2 goals to 0 against Marumo Gallants. Who's now a side that has now been taken over by coach Eric Tinkler. UEFA Champions League fixtures on Wednesday. We saw Borussia Dortmund beat Lille by 2 goals to 1, forcing a 3-2 aggregate score. Arsenal and PSV played to a 2-2 draw, with Arsenal winning emerging 9-3 victors, having beaten the Dutch side by 7 goals to 1 in the first leg. Uh, while Aston Villa beat Club Brugge by 3-0, having beaten them 3-1 in the second leg. In the first leg, I beg your pardon, when making it a 6-1 victory in making forcing a 6-1 aggregate score. Atletico Madrid beat their neighbor Real Madrid beat their neighbors 4-2 on penalties after a 2-2 draw on aggregate after Atletico Madrid won by that odd goal. Midweek fixtures. Midweek fixtures kicked off in the Betway Premiership with TS Galaxy proving too strong for Amazulu, beating them by 2 goals to 1. On to our news making headlines in the world of football in the last week. Starting with the draw for the UEFA Champions League, we knockout phase. We're down to the last eight. The road to Munich has heated up, or that as we get ready for that as you get up for that final, which will take place with 8 teams, which are gonna fight rather for that spot to for that final spot to take place that final which is going to take place in Munich on the 31st of October. The first leg and the second leg of the quarterfinal fixtures will take place on the 8th and 9th of April and the 15th and the 16th of April. Arsenal will face Real Madrid. Real Madrid will go into this one with history firmly against them, having not never beaten Arsenal in the tournament, let alone score against them. While Aston Villa will face Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona will take on Dortmund, while Bayern Munich will take on Inter Milan in a repeat of the 2010 UEFA Champions League. On to our news making headlines in the world of football in the last week. We start with the Nedbank Cup fixture, which surrounded controversy. Now, current PSL referee came out. A PSL referee came out with regards to came out regarding the matter to clear the confusion on Kaiser Chiefs' winning goal, which gave Kaiser Chiefs the 2-1 lead. And now the score was tied at 1-1 when Polemodi scored at injury time. And the controversy there was controversy from a goal that was scored by Polemodi to make it 2-1 in stoppage time, where the goalkeeper Sir Stephen was adjudged to have been fouled by George McClough, who was accused of reaping benefits from the incident after McClough tapped the ball into the net. With the shot stopper having lost footing and fallen to his goalmouth scramble. More baffling is that Kumbuzo Gasa pointed to the center circle, signaling a goal before rushing to the assistant who had raised his flag to consult. Speaking to the referee, who spoke to a local kickoff.com, who commented on the incident on condition of the anonymity for his learned opinion, which infuriated namely mentor Sir Steve Barker, who was left infuriated by the incident. It reads so in law 12. The following considerations must be asked. Was the keeper challenged for the ball fairly? From the clip I saw, I would say no. McClough made no attempt to play for the ball and impeded the keeper. A restart should have been called and a direct free kick awarded to Stellies. However, the referee also indicated that the assistant referee in that situation could have flagged for offside, which Gasa could have correctly overruled. Uh, Two, Modi was on offside as the ball is played by a Stellies player onto a Stellies player. In terms of the law, it must be played by a teammate to be offside. So for me, the referee flagged for offside. If the referee flagged for offside, the referee was correct by overruling the assistant referee, because I don't think the referee saw who last played the ball. However, the referee believes Gasa was incorrect to overrule his assistant. The insider ref believes Gaza was incorrect to overrule his assistant, and believes the challenge on Stevens by Macron was not if he believed the challenge on Macron was on Stevens by Macron was not a foul. But personally, if the assistant referee flagged flagged for the foul on the goalkeeper. There's no ways the referee could have overturned his decision, as I think the referee was unsighted unless the referee said, "I saw the contact, and it deemed it to be fair." Then the referee was incorrect in his interpretation of the law. Close quote. Kosi Kalshis will now face Sundowns or Skukuna United in the semi-final. On to our other story regarding Skukuna United. They've since appointed Eric Tink. They have confirmed that former Cape Town City Eric Tinkler will now take over the club. Will now take over Babina Nogo. If we can just find the story, Skukuna United have confirmed the arrival of Eric Tinkler at Babina Nogo after having been a free agent after he was relieved of his duties at Cape Town City following a string of poor results. He took over now. Eric Tinkler, the former Cape Town City mentor, takes over Little Honolo Siema, who was relieved of his duties, and brings in Mark Van Yerden, who will be working as his assistant coach alongside Paulos Musehe, while Gaetano Tembo will be deployed to development structures. And Nelson Kwashi will be the goalkeeper coach. Tinkler's first match as Kukuna United coach was the game against Marimo Gallants, where they came from a goal down to win by 2-1. They've also booked a spot where he will play his former side in Orlando Pirates, where he'll have to hit the ground running if they are to qualify for the CAF Confed Cup, where he finished as runner-up with his former employers, which he will face in the same last four. In the year 2015, expectations at Skakune are usually high, so Coach Tinkler will have his work cut out. Mark Van Etten will have his will be getting his first work experience as a assistant coach since he hung his boots last season. Now this is not the first time Coach Eric Tinkler will be working with a young assistant coach, having worked with Lebohang Manyama as an assistant coach at Cape Town City after calling it a day after injuries forced him to call it a day at Kaiser Chiefs. On to our other news. Kaiser Chiefs strike marksman Ashley Deprier has outlined his intentions on with his current employers after the side opted with the extent or after the side decided to activate the extension on his contract. Now the forward signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further 2 years after joining from Stellenbosch in July 2022. He states that as a player, you play for better contracts and all that, but that is not where my focus is. He responded at the club space on Monday morning when asked about his contract, stating that he is happy that the club renewed his contract for another 2 years. He's happy to be there. He would love to reach 20 goals, something that has not been reached since Siaba Wanamvete in the 2011-2012 season. That is his aim. That is my aim. I'm going to be here. He said, then I'm going to talk about the recent there's also been interest from European sides. So it decides that it motivates you as a player. There is a reason why they are interested in you as a player, he says. This is a big club. Kaiser Chiefs is a big club, so my focus has always been here. I always want to improve and help the team win as many games as we can, and for me as a player to improve on scoring goals and help the team win, it goes on to say. On to our other news. Chippa United have also confirmed technical adjustments following the return of former mentor and coach Morgan Mamela in a statement made by the side. Appointment of football sporting director. The statement reads from the Chippa United website. Chippa United Football Club is pleased to officially announce Morgan Mamela as the club's first ever sporting director, who rejoined the club without an official announcement. We have been working behind the scenes to carefully integrate we have been working behind the scenes to carefully integrated him into the football environment after a period away from the game following a thorough evaluation. For we have now formulated his appointment to lead the club's sporting operations. In his role, he will be responsible for overseeing the technical team, the driving player recruitment, strengthening the developmental and reserve team structures to create a pathway for new young talent. His appointment is a strategic step in ensuring community and align continuity and alignment across all footballing aspects uh, at the club, from the development to the level to the first team. Additionally, we confirmed that Tabo September will continue as head coach with Mabuti Kanyeza as assistant. While our reserve team has faced challenges this season, the club remains committed to identifying and nurturing local talent, a key objective that Mamila will oversee as part of his mandate. Kai Chippa United fully supports Mamila in his new role and looks forward to the impact of his leadership, wishing all the best as he embarks on his journey to build a stronger football foundation for the club. End quote. On to our other news. Amazulu have announced Amazulu Football Club have announced the resignation of their goalkeeper coach Aubrey Villagazi, who leaves the club, who resigns from the club with immediate effect. Onto our other news. Now the story reads as follows. Just weeks after the departure of assistant coach in Vusumuzi Vilagazi. The co-coach Vusumuzi Vilagazi, who stepped down, citing personal reasons. Who worked alongside Coach Arthur Zwane at the time. The statement reads as follows. Okay, we seem to be struggling with that one. We're going to let's see if we can have it. Technology. While we wait for that one, let's move on to the story regarding the appointment of. While we wait on that one, let's move on to the story of the appointment of President Dr. Petrus Motsepe in his second term. CAF have announced that Dr. Petrus Motsepe has been re-elected for a second term at the helm during the General Assembly, which took place in Cairo, Egypt, during the General Assembly of the Confederation of African Football, which is Africa's football governing body, and CAF. South Africa's business tycoon ran unopposed and secured a second four-year term, which will run until 2029. In Motsepe's tenure, there has been an increase in prize money for CAF club and national competitions, among other positive changes in African football. Initially, Motsepe was tight-lipped about a new term, but in October initially revealed that he would seek a second term after following requests from numerous CAF member associations, zonal unions, presidents, and key stakeholders to run for a presidency for the second year running, which will run until 2029. Upon being re-elected, he went on to say, "It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much." During his speech, after his election, the achievement over the last few years, the achievements in the last few years, over the last few years, and I am grateful. Where because of all of us, and I am grateful. He added, "This is about Africa. This is about the people of the continent. It's been a huge privilege to get exposed to each one of you because you represent the best of the continent. Thank you to Giovanni Infantino, who is the president of FIFA as well. One of the president's main priorities will be to support Morocco in their attempts to co-host the FIFA World Cup alongside Spain and Uruguay in 2030. Prior to his election, he did tell his delegates to decide for themselves who should be the president, citing, "I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm a different president. You must decide who to vote for." That's democracy at its finest, right there. That is democracy at its finest, right there. On to there are a lot of candidates right here. All things football unpacked would like to congratulate Dr. Petros Mutsepe for getting his second term and as president. Would like to congratulate Dr. Petros Mutsepe for his second term as president of the Confederation of African Football and wish him the best of luck going forward. And we know he is gonna do great things for African football. On remember to like. By the way, remember to like the show. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the show on the Apiwe Roto network. All things football unpacked available on the Apiwe Roto network. We're still on our stories. We're still on our stories as we try to look for the. We're still trying to find the. We're still trying to find the story regarding Amazulu. While we're on that, with football's world governing body FIFA have confirmed that they have received a receipt from Jack Bay Morris Connor from Jack, Jack Bay Morris Kone contractual dispute. The Liberian joined TS Galaxy at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the season, however, was left without kicking a ball due to paperwork issues, despite being involved in pre-season friendlies, and spent 6 months before leaving the club in frustration. Let's talk. Let's fill you in with regards to what happened. Now, the issue has been taken to the FIFA Dispute Resolution Chamber. The matter has been taken to the FIFA Dispute Resolution Chamber. Let's fill you in on regards to what happened. FIFA has acknowledged the receipt of Jake Bay Morris Kone's contractual dispute claim against TS Galaxy. Kone was signed at the beginning of the 2024-25 season but left without playing due to contractual issues. The Liberian international was involved in pre-season friendlies and spent 6 months at the club before leaving at the end of last year. Frustrated, he then confirmed to this website in February that he would be undertaking legal procedures with FIFA. According to him, he signed a 3-year deal effective from July 1st, 2024, but a series of issues ultimately led him to leaving and has joined LISCR on loan from Liberian club FC Guru. The FIFA proceedings, according to this publication regarding the matter, are that the claim has been submitted and FIFA has acknowledged the receipt as of Monday. In accordance with the regulations, TS Galaxy have been given a 21-day notice to submit a response in the contractual dispute case. Now they already have a they already have three window transfer bans, which came into effect from December 2024. For other cases, the club had to pay Ivorian striker Bernard Yao Kausi approximately 1.8 million after he took up the peace case with FIFA last year, just to mention a few. Going back to the Amazulu story. Going back to the Amazulu story, rather, if we can find it, the last story. The last story regarding the Amazulu. We talk now. If you recall clearly, we recall the departure of Fusumusi Vilagazi, who was co-coach with Adazwane. Now the taking over from taking over from the now departed Vosumuz, the now departed Aubrey Vilakazi will be former goalkeeper coach, and Wendell Robinson. As we announced, we can't seem to find the story here. On to, as we continue to search for the story, Coach Hugo Broos has announced his 23-man squad, which was from 36, where has since been trimmed down to 30. Has since been trimmed down to 23. Now Bafana will be taking on Polokwanes on Lesotho next week on the 21st of March, before traveling to the Ivory Coast, and start Felix Wolfett, a stadium that will be synonymous with Pirates winning the CAF Champions League in 1995. Ronwen goalkeepers on the goal was selected, and Ronwen Williams, who's also a skipper, with alongside Ricardo Goss, Sipo Chinet. Your defenders include Sydney Mobi, Kolomani Sinimobi. Kolomani Damane has since been replaced by Grant Kigana, following not have after he was dropped for not following his omission for not having a passport. Tabo Moloisana makes his debut, while Nkosinati regulars Nkosi Senati CBC, Aubrey Modiba, Aseba Wangezana, Kuliso Modao, and Fawaz Basadin also make the selection. Your other usual suspects, Deboho Mukwena comes on. Your other usual suspect, Deboho Mukwena, comes on, while Jaden Adams, who was omitted at some point due to not reporting for camp, was then dismissed for disciplinary reasons, makes a return. Matuse Obas makes his way into the squad alongside Talented Bata. Forwards include Oswan Apollos, another usual suspect, alongside Patrick Masanganye, Ikram Reyners, Relebuhile Mofukeng, Elias Mugwana, Lyle Foster, Tapelo Morena, and of course Percy Dow, who returns after having fixed his issues with his club Al Ali before departing for Qatar, where he now cuts his teeth with Qatari side and Qatar Sports Club. Let's try one more time to see if we can fix the. Speaking of which, let's talk. Let's address the matter regarding Kaizer Chiefs, who find themselves in a tricky situation with regards to the Nedbank Cup semi-final. There has been a fixture dilemma. There's been a fixture dilemma with regards to the book. Now, if you remember, there was an issue regarding the game between a Nedbank Cup quarterfinal between Skukwena United and Kaizer Chiefs, which had to be postponed after the venue was double booked following South Africa's fixture following South Africa's women under 17 Women's World Cup qualifier against Nigeria, and which was passed fit by the South African Football Association. As a result of this, the game had to be postponed. Now the game has not been scheduled, with the FIFA break next week. The Champions League quarterfinals almost afterwards. The Swana Giants are sweating for domestic cup game not to be rescheduled to before or in the middle of their two-legged affair against Esperance. Sundowns face Esperance in the CAF Champions League quarterfinal, who they fell short to in the last tournament. As things stand, they will play their last game before the FIFA break against Orlando Pirates tomorrow. Kickoff for that fixture is at 15:30, and are supposed to resume a clash against Tunisian side on Tuesday, April the 1st. However, the team with the team not yet scheduled for the weekend of 29:30 after the FIFA break. Head coach Miguel Cardoso is fearful the PSL should not push put the match against Babina Nogo that weekend, as it could put them as it would put them at a disadvantage against his former side in Esperance. Stating obviously that with that fixture that is so congested, where are we asking, he goes on to ask, where are we going to play matches now? Let's have a conversation with regards to venues. What seems to be the problem with is, are PSL teams struggling to find venues to play their football? There was a time where, if you remember clearly, Kaiser Chiefs played their home games uh, in the 90s. They played in Ellis in the late 80s and 90s. They played early 90s. They played in Ellis Park before moving to Johannesburg Stadium. Then they went on to play games at the Olympia Park Stadium, and not forgetting the Royal Bafokeng Stadium. Orlando Pirates would follow the same fate with the Johannesburg Stadium, and of course they started off with the FNB Stadium. Then came the Olympia Park, no, Royal Bafokeng Stadium. At the Johannesburg Stadium was one of the stadiums before moving to the Ellis Park Stadium, before the now rebuilt once again Orlando Stadium. Sundowns went from HM Pinchi Stadium, which has now been in ruins. The OD Stadium, non-playable, has now been deemed non-playable and has been abandoned. There were talks of the game stadium being maintained, being reworked and reconstructed. No word has been mentioned. It has been mentioned ever since. Or the HMPG Stadium. Still no word regarding the stadium too. The Loftus was deemed unplayable for the game against Pirates, which kicks off tomorrow. We're not sure what's going to happen with the Lucas Morepe Stadium tomorrow, and whether or not SuperSport United will be in action. However, we're going to fill you in on what is going to happen. They know the stadium will not be in action. The stadium, Lucas Morepe Stadium, will not be in use. However, we saw with Cape Town, since it's a Orlando Pirates Stadium, Orlando Pirates Stadium's home fixture. Now the reason the stadium has been moved, the game has been moved to the FNB Stadium, is because of the crowd trouble. The crowd trouble that uh, occurred at the Soweto Derby and at the Sundowns Pirates game, which took place at Loftus, where there were spectators who had actual tickets but were not allowed to enter the game due to the stadiums being full. Now the game has been moved to a bigger venue, which is Soccer's the FNB Stadium, which is deemed to be the biggest stadium and the biggest stadium on the continent. What do you think of the matter? Let's have a conversation. Talk to me on my Facebook, the All Things Football Unpacked. My Facebook page. That's where you can find the show. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, the Apiwe Roto Network. Ring the bell for future notifications of the show, which premieres every Saturday at lunch hour. We continue to look for the Amazulu matter, which has been quite a challenge regarding finding the story. However, what I can tell you is that Amazulu have parted ways with the current goalkeeper coach, who was promoted to the senior team and will now be to handle the goalkeeping coach duties will be handled by Wendell Robinson, who will take over. Who will take over after having been relieved of his duties by Mamelodi Sundowns, where his duties have now been resumed by where he's now the story is in this managed to find the story. Goalkeeping coach the story from Amazulu comes in stating that just after the shock departure of co-coach Vosumuzi Vilagasi, they've announced another coaching exit, with former Mamelodi Sundowns goalkeeper coach coming in. Goalkeeper coach Aubrey Vilagasi has tendered his resignation and leaves the club with immediate effect, according to a statement released by Amazulu on Wednesday morning. Amazulu Football Club. The statement reads by on the Amazulu Football Club website. The statement reads: Amazulu Football Club has accepted the resignation of goalkeeper coach Aubrey Vilakazi, who is stepping down with immediate effect due to personal reasons. The statement reads: Vilakazi was promoted to first team goalkeeper coach late last year after previously serving with the reserve team. The club expresses its gratitude for his dedication and contributions during his tenure and wishes him success in his future endeavors. Former Wendy Cook announced goalkeeper coach Renner Robinson, I beg your pardon, takes over the role. Following his departure, the club has appointed Wendell Robinson as the new goalkeeper coach. Robinson brings in extensive experience, having previously worked with Mamelodi Sundowns and South African national team. The statement added. The news comes in on the back of some major changes at the Durban-based outfit, with co-coach Vusumuzi Vilakazi having also left the club after submitting his resignation, citing personal issues as per club boss Zungu at that time. Lesotho have had a frustrating season with conceding 28 goals, the second highest amount of goals let in by a single club in the Battery Premiership this season, only second after Morimo Gallants, who have conceded 31. Robinson joins the club with an impressive reputation, been a top keeper, having worked also as a top goalkeeper, where he applied his trade as a player, as an actual goalkeeper at Morocco Swallows, at SuperSport United, and of course Mamelodi Sundowns before hanging his gloves, and will be expected to help help close those leagues. Meanwhile, Amazulu return in action last night on where they fell short by 2-1 to TS Galaxy. On to our much anticipated exclusive. All things before all else, would like to congratulate Peter Shalulile on all things football unpacked, on his achievement at Mamelodi Sundowns with a 126 goal contribution in 194 matches for Mamelodi Sundowns. He has netted 100 goals and contributed with 26 assists. Let's have a look at what you can expect from a head-to-head perspective since 1985, where the league turned pro, where the NSL was launched under the late Suleiman Bamchi and late Abdul, the late Bamji brothers. These two teams have faced each other 80 times, with Pirates winning 21, while Mamelodi Sundowns have won 38 fixtures. Draws, where these 21 matches have been played and have ended in draws, while Sundowns have scored one, while Pirates have scored 70 goals. While Pirates have scored 70 goals, Mamelodi Sundowns have scored 108. In the PSL era, these sides have faced each other 48 times, with Orlando Pirates winning 15 matches, while Sundowns have won 21. 12 matches have finished in draws. Pirates have scored 45 goals, while Mamelodi Sundowns have scored 62 goals. And the last 10 games, Orlando Pirates have not won since 2020, since prior to COVID. 10 matches, there have been 2 draws and 8 wins for Mamelodi Sundowns. While Pirates will be looking to win their endless run against the champions in the last 10 matches. Let's have a look at what you can expect your key players. Let's break down the fixtures now. Orlando Pirates go into this game on the back of their first draw of the season, which was a goalless draw against a team they've had trouble playing against. Against a team they have trouble against on numerous occasions, which happens to be Stellenbosch. Pirates go into the game, into the return leg with revenge on their minds after a 4-1 loss, 2 downs to the champions in the first leg, trailing Downs by 18 points with 4 games in hand. Bikes look to end a 10-match winless run which dates back to 2020 pre-COVID. Players to watch, you can you can look out for Super China, who put on heroics on Saturday in the Nedbank Cup quarterfinal, where he saved two penalties, giving Orlando Pirates a 5-4 win in a game that went to sudden death, and of course keeping a clean sheet against Dailies on Tuesday. However, he'll have a field day against a free scoring side in Mamelodi Sundowns, which is compared with attacking trio of Lucas Ribeiro and Peter Shalulile and Ikram Reyners, who have who have a combination of 28 goals out of the 50 scored by Mamelodi Sundowns. Players to look out for will be Relebohile Mofokeng. The 20-year-old will be looking to find his footing after being on the receiving end of criticism, after having had a dip in form. Now, a dip in form, players go off form from time to time. So to some extent, I do feel the criticism that the 20-year-old is on is relatively unfair. Despite having netted only 2 goals this season, the winger has the ability to double as an attacking midfielder, has excellent footwork, and will be looking to come through for his side, as he did against Mamelodi Sundowns at last season's Nedbank Cup final, just to mention a few. One of the most experienced players to look out for, Maketleli Makaule, the 35-year-old, will be tasked with stopping Saling's Lucas Ribeiro's attacks, and will be tasked with handling the midfield trio of Tebogo Mokoena, that diamond, Tebogo Mokoena, that midfield triangle, I beg your pardon, and Tebogo Mokoena and Ikram Reyners, Tebogo Mokoena, Jaden Adams, and of course Lucas Ribeiro, who will look to be a menace to will be looking to give him a field day. However, his ability to break attacks in the midfield will come in handy, alongside with his combination with Talent Mbata in the midfield will come in handy, with the likes of Jared Adams and Tashik Morris, just to mention a few. I expect this game to be won or lost in the midfield, with two free scoring sides. Ribeiro will be tasked with deciding on which center forward. Now, Coach Ribeiro will have a selection headache with regards to which center forward to start with on the day, with regards to Mabasa, who's been scoring despite not scored last week and midweek, since scoring that hat-trick in the Nedbank Cup fixtures in the Nedbank Cup round of 16. Now, this guy scores goals for fun. You have Evidence Mahopa, who also found the back of the net in the game against Super Sport United, despite the game finishing 2-0. Is he gonna play both? Is he gonna play with one? He relies more on the 3-4-3 formation, if not the 4-2-3-1, where you have your 2 8s and your Kabelo Dlamini and your Nkabelo Dlamini, and of course Relebohile Mofokeng, with Tito Maswanganyi playing as a 10. Now Tito and Mofokeng like to switch positions, with Tito also can also double as an 8, while you also have Relebohile Mofokeng, who can also double as a 10. You have another impact player, and you also have an impact player in Karim Kimvudi, who can come off the bench and make a difference and also fit in that slot in that 10 position. They can also always play a 4-1-4-1 position, where they can play with 2 8s and 2 10s, and have Maketleni Makaula play as a double 6. While on the other side, when we look at Mamelodi Sundowns, they'll be going into this game with confidence, following a midweek win against Amazulu. Masandawana will not only be looking to get a double over their rivals on the top of the table clash. The free scoring side consists of key players in Lucas Ribeiro, who leads the scoring charts in the league with 13 goals, followed by Ikram Reyners with 9, while Shalulile was on 6. Combined contribution of 28 goals in total, and as far as the league is with Sundowns' league of goals of 50. Currently, the leading goal scorer, key players to look out for, is Lucas Ribeiro, who leads the goal scoring charts with 13 goals. Brazilians look set to snatch this season. The Brazilian looks set to snatch this season's golden boot. Ribeiro has a 28 goal contribution in all competitions, 17 goals and 11 assists. Now, when you talk of all competitions, we mentioned the league, Betway Premiership. We mentioned the MTN 8. We mentioned the Carling Knockout. We mentioned the Nedbank Cup, and of course, CAF competition, club competition at the end of the day, and has been nothing short of sensational. Another talisman to look out for is Bikram Reynolds, was had an exceptional first season, providing a 23 goal contribution, 16 goals, and 7 assists in all competition. The 29-year-old is second behind his teammates in the goal scoring charts with 9 goals, and just like his teammates, he lives to play for the big occasions. Now, these two men are for the big occasions, big match temperament, the BMT. The critics like to call it. Namibian Peter Shalulile, another player to look out for is Peter Shalulile, who's had a hard, who's hasn't had my who's had a dip in form as far as who's hasn't been scoring much lately. However, has scored 6 goals this season and will be proud of himself. The 31-year-old, however, has netted 10 goals in all competitions this year, and will be looking to continue over the 28 league goals for the season in terms of contribution. And win from Masandawana will extend the lead to 21 to 21 points. Only time will tell if Pirates will win the games in hand to reduce the deficit. Remember, Pirates did not win midweek, so we are going to see time will tell whether or not. We will see how Sundowns fare in the game against Sundowns, which is a must-win, by the way, if they are going to challenge for the championship. Peter Shalulile, despite having not scoring much, he has scored against Orlando Pirates. He has numerous goals. He has a few goals against Orlando Pirates, and whenever he scores against Soweto sides, Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns have gone on to win those matches. Perhaps that is going to come in handy and work to his advantage. He has also hit the centenary mark, which should be a confidence booster after netting 100 goals for Sundowns, trailing just Daniel Mudau in the PSL era. Coach Cardoso will be counting on this in his attack to over the 28 league goal contribution, 28 goals in the league, as I said earlier. Combined with this attacking trio, there's been 28 goals in Sundowns' 50, and they've conceded the fewest goals in the season, and they currently lead the scoring. They currently top of the table, leading Orlando Pirates by 18. A win for Mamelodi Sundowns will increase the lead to 21 points. Here's what you can expect in today's fixture. Starting from today, Magesi will face Golden Arrows at the Seshego Stadium. Kickoff for that fixture is at 15:30 alongside Cape Town City and Marumo Gallants. Another game which will also kick off at 15:30, while our late kickoff will see Chippa United take on Polokwane City at the Buffalo City Stadium. Kickoff for that fixture is at 2000 hours. Richards Bay will face off against Kaizer Chiefs at the Kings Jollitini Stadium in a game that will kick off at 15:30 alongside the much anticipated Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns game, which will be at the FNB Stadium. We haven't heard whether or not the game has been sold out, whilst Kokone will face Stellenbosch in a game that will kick off at 17:30. English Premier League fixtures kick off at 1700 hours. And Gold Rush will include Everton taking on West Ham United. Southampton will face Wolves, while Ipswich Town will take on Nottingham Forest. Manchester City welcome Brighton, and Bournemouth will take on the Bees will be looking to sting the Cherries when Bournemouth take on Brentford. Sunday we'll see the one of the London's most fiercest rivalries, hostile if I may add. I know hostile is a strong word. This is one of the London's rivalries, are some of the biggest rivalries. Arsenal will be facing Chelsea at the Emirates, while Fulham will take on Tottenham Hotspur in another London derby. Leicester City will face Manchester United in a game that will kick off at 2100 hours, right after the Carabao Cup final between Liverpool and Newcastle United, which takes place at the Wembley Stadium at 18:30. And that's all we have time for on all things football Unpacked. Remember to like and subscribe, comment on the show, tell me what you want to see. Constructive criticism is welcome. You can praise the show, you can critique the show, you can tell me what you want to hear, you can tell me what the show needs to work on as far as the content. I'm well aware of the lighting. It will be sorted in due time. The lighting and the equipment that will be dealt with. I appreciate you calling, requesting the proper lighting and whatever it is that I've heard your grievances. I'm not looking down on them. I will not undermine your grievances. You are the contributor of the show. I appreciate your support. We're not in next week due to the international break. However, the show will be back on the 29th of March. The show will also be available on the All Things Football Unpacked page. Enjoy the show, enjoy the football. My name is Apiwe Roto. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.